Hello, welcome to my class. I am Pamela Jasmine. Today I am going to teach a poem, Lines Written in Early Spring, written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is a romantic poet. In this poem we can see the poet himself is sitting in a grove and enjoying the beauty of nature. He is in a very pleasant mood, but suddenly his mood changes when he thinks about man's cruelty to each other and to nature. Let's discuss the poem. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. The poet heard so many pleasant notes, so many pleasant sounds when he was sitting in a grove. Grove means a small forest. So many trees are there. So when he was sitting, I sat means I sat. That means he was sitting. Reclined means relaxed. So the poet was sitting in a grove in a relaxed mood, and then he could hear 1,000 blended notes. Here there is an exaggeration. 1,000 blended notes. So the sounds of nature, birds singing, and then squirrels sound. So many birds and animals sounds he could, and even spring's noise. Water was when water flows, we can hear a sound like that. 1,000 notes he could hear. And in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. He was in a pleasant mood, in a sweet mood. He was very happy when he was sitting in a grove in a relaxed manner and enjoying the beauty. That time he could hear so many sounds of birds, animals, and flowing of river, streams and all. Like that he could hear 1,000 blended notes. Then he was so happy. At that time some sad thoughts came to his mind. Then let's see why he becomes sad. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. So to her fair works, nature has so many works for man. So nature is linked with man in so many manners. So plants release oxygen, and man release carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is used by plants for photosynthesis, and while photosynthesis plants release oxygen, so that oxygen we can breathe, and plants give us food. Fruits, vegetables, grains, cereals, pulses, everything. Mostly the human soul is linked to nature because soul is the pure form of nature. That means soul is the natural being. So as it is natural, it is linked to nature. So the human soul that through me ran, each and every human has a soul. So we are linked to nature through our soul. That is the most important thing. So every human is linked to nature through the soul. And much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Then he is becoming very sad. Much it grieved my heart. So his heart is grieving. Why? To think what man has made of man. When he thinks about man's misdeeds, man's cruelties to each other and to nature. So man is doing cruelty to each other for money, material and power. Man is killing each other. So man is doing very bad, very cruel things to man. And man is doing cruelty to nature by cutting trees and destroying the beauty of nature. So man is doing very bad deeds to each other and to nature itself. That thought made him sad. So the pleasant thought or the sweet mood of the poet was transformed into a sad mood because he thinks about man's cruelty to man and to nature. Through primrose tops in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and it is my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. So he could see different types of flowers, periwinkle, primroses, etc. So through primrose tufts in that green bower, in that green green forest, he could see periwinkle tufts. Periwinkle is a flower. And primrose tufts. Primrose is also a flower. Primrose tufts and periwinkle trailed its wreaths. It is spreading its wreaths. So it is a beautiful sight. He could see different kinds of flowers. And it is my faith that every flower enjoy the air it breathes. Then the poet's faith, or the poet believes that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. When flowers enjoy the fresh air, they are in pleasure. They feel happiness. That is what the poet thinks. The birds around me hoped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure. But the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. Then he could see the birds hopping and playing around. And their thoughts I cannot measure. The poet does not know what they are thinking. Their thoughts, birds' thoughts, the poet could not measure. But the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. But when they move around, he could understand that. He could measure, or each motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. So it seemed, he feels that they are in pleasure. Each and every movement made by the made by the birds shows or express happiness. So the poet feels that they are enjoying the beauty of nature. They are enjoying happiness. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. The budding twigs spread out their fan. So many trees are there with buds. The branches are having blooming buds. They spread their fan, or they spread out their branches. These trees spread out their branches to catch the breezy air. So the trees or the plants are spreading their branches to feel the fresh air, to catch the breezy air. And I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. Then the poet was thinking that there was pleasure everywhere. He could only think, or he could only assume that each and every bird and tree, they are enjoying, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. Everywhere in nature there is pleasure. Each and every bird and the plants and all the beings in nature, they are enjoying pleasure. They are having happiness. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? So this belief is sent from heaven. What is the belief? See, each and every being in nature is enjoying happiness. They are in pleasure. Each and every movement of birds and the plants which are spreading their fans or spreading their branches, and all the flowers. All these beings, all the living as well as non-living beings of nature is in pleasure. So in this, if this belief from heaven be sent, this belief that each and every plant, animals and each and every beings of nature is enjoying pleasure, or they are having pleasure. If such be nature's holy plan, that is nature's holy plan. What is nature's holy plan? Nature's holy plan is that all creatures live in harmony and enjoy their existence. So each and every being in nature should coexist in happiness without destroying and disturbing each other. So if such be nature's holy plan, that is nature's holy plan, each and every being in nature should coexist or should live happily in harmony, and they should enjoy their existence. If such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? That is the holy plan of nature. If that is the holy plan of nature, is there any have I not reason to lament? So he has a reason to lament. He has his sorrow is very genuine, that nature has such a holy plan, but man is not obeying that plan, or man is not living according to the plan of nature. Man is killing each other for wealth and power, and it is man is destroying nature for their welfare, for man's selfish motive. Man is destroying nature. So when the poet thinks about all these things, he feels very sad. His sorrow is genuine. What man has made of man. So man is destroying nature, and man is doing cruelty to man himself. So the poet is very sad. Now let's discuss the poetic devices. See the first line. I heard 1,000 blended notes. So here 1,000 blended notes. It is an exaggeration. So the poetic device used here is hyperbole. Hyperbole is a poetic device to stress a point in which super exaggeration is used, over exaggeration. So here we can see the poetic device hyperbole. Now we can see what man has made of man. So in that we can see alliteration. What is alliteration? Consonant sound is repeated in adjacent words or closely connected words in a line. So that is alliteration. So what man has made of man? M is repeated. Man has made of man. So M is repeated. Every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Here flower is depicted as human beings. Flower enjoys the air it breathes. So here we can see personification. Flower enjoys like human being. Repetition. One line is repeated. What man has made of man. That line is repeated. See in the second stanza and in the last stanza. We can see this line. So here we can see repetition. Then what is the theme? Theme is man versus nature, and then nature, spirituality and peace. These all are themes of this poem. Rhyme scheme. There is a proper rhyme scheme in this poem. First line rhymes with the third, and the second line rhymes with the fourth. See, blended notes, S, and pleasant thoughts. So first line ends with notes, and third line ends with thoughts. And then second line reclined, and fourth line mind. So D, reclined and mind. So like that in every stanza, first line rhymes with the third and the second line rhymes with the fourth. So we can say AB, AB. That is the rhyme scheme of this poem. That's all. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. God bless.